There's been a lot of hope around this Ravens team the past handful of years. They have won the AFC North the past 2 seasons. They've made it to playoffs in each of those seasons as well, at one point making it all the way to the AFC title game where they eventually lost to the Chiefs. So what about this year? Can they actually get over the hump and make it to the Super Bowl? Of course, Lamar Jackson, still their star quarterback, bringing in new talent like Jackson-Hopkins on offense. And when it comes to the defense, new look is the word we're going for. Let's welcome in our Aditi Kinkhabwala, who's been there at Ravens practice. I know it is hot, it is sticky out there. Let's start with the offense. Lamar Jackson, Jackson-Hopkins, how are they looking? What is that connection like?
Well, you know, Jackson-Hopkins still has a tremendous catch radius. So even if he doesn't necessarily have the same speed he has as a younger player, he's certainly done a really good job in the intermediate passing game here for the Ravens. The Ravens have been extremely focused on details on this offense. John Harbaugh talked about it today, and he went out of his way to say that the receivers in general have been very good with their attention to their routes, to the depth of the routes, to the way that they're running, especially their vertical routes. You're seeing a crispness in the offense that certainly the Ravens want to see. And I'm reminded of the hiring of offensive coordinator Todd Monken. A few years ago, Harbaugh had told us he didn't want a system coordinator because he didn't have a system quarterback. We're really seeing the cumulative years that Monken and Jackson have worked together, and at this point, it's hard to see how Jackson can get better, but incrementally, they are certainly working to be even more detailed if possible.
If you say it, I believe it when it comes to Lamar Jackson. Let's talk about this defense, an area they really did try to bolster, focus on during the offseason there. You were able to talk to Roquan Smith, excuse me, and I'm hearing he used the word amazed. What did he mean by that, and why are they so positive?
I think he feels really good about the intensity that he's getting out of the defense right now, the focus. Again, I'll use the same phrase, attention to detail. But we talked at length about the back end of the defense, the secondary. And, of course, the Ravens brought in Jair Alexander, a veteran who has a personality to match Marlon Humphreys. They also brought in Chido Awuzie, who spent a lot of time playing with the Bengals. And then, of course, their first-round pick, Malachi Starks. Amanda, I have to tell you, I cannot remember the last time a defensive rookie was talked about the way that Starks is being talked about. And Roquan Smith told me that this is a young man who absolutely can handle it because he's like a grown-up back there, because he is far more mature. Roquan even said that he wishes that he knew as much about the game when he was a rookie as Malachi Starks does. Of course, I told you there are a lot of personalities back there. It's Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith said, who keeps everybody in line.
So we saw this interesting stat on social media that 1 in 3 Ravens do not know how to swim. And they made this post. They brought in Michael Phelps. I was tearing up at one point because it was so sweet that watching them put so much effort into this. How did this come about? I mean, what a great bonding experience too, Aditi.
Well, that's exactly it. And you know what's funny about it, Amanda, is that John Harbaugh actually said it wasn't meant to be a bonding experience, but sometimes those are the best bonding moments when they're organic and happen on their own. It was Marlon Humphrey, I believe, who tweeted a video saying that the Ravens needed help learning how to swim, begged Michael Phelps to come out. Michael Phelps said sure. He showed up to practice yesterday with Ray Lewis, of all people, as Harbaugh said, 2 of the all-time greats to do what they do, arguably the greatest to have ever done what they've done. And the Ravens and Michael Phelps went over to Loyola, and you saw Roquan Smith was one of the players who learned how to float on his back for the very first time. He said up until now, all he could do was doggy paddle, but he feels more safe now that he can float.
It was incredible. I encourage everybody to go watch that video on social media. We are counting down the days, less than a month now, to Sunday, September 7th. What a Sunday it will be when the NFL returns to CBS, and you can also stream those games on Paramount+.